Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Badass Unscripted. So listen, I created this one today, I recorded this one today, I mixed it today, and I released it today. I'll tell you why. Because I'm fired up. Those of you who have a creative practice, lesson learned. Always write when you're fired up. And how do you get fired up? Go live life and fall on your ass. Which I've been doing a lot of that this week. And, it's not a bad week, but it's a week where I had some doubts, man. I had some failures. I'm just sitting there wondering, am I doing the right thing? Feeling like some things haven't panned out the way I wanted them to recently. But here's the thing. I've been part of a high-performing team for so long now that when that happens, I know what I got to do. You got to reach out. You got to lean on your team. Well, what do most of us do if we're having a bad day? Do you curl up in bed, retreat from your family and your friends? Do you shut the world out? See, because that's what I did this week. For about 10 minutes, I got it into my head, that old way of thinking and being. That, you know what, I'm just not going to reach out to my friends today. I'm going to let it go for 24 hours, and when I feel better tomorrow, then I'll reconnect. And then if I'm still struggling, I can get the help I need. And it took me all of 10 minutes to live in that place of self-pity and fear before I said, that's not how we do things in a high-performing team. See, strength doesn't mean being the lone wolf. It doesn't mean solving everything by yourself for yourself. It means being vulnerable. True strength means vulnerability. And that means in the moment when you don't feel like asking, you ask anyway. That, my friends, is the definition of vulnerable. Because here's what happens. When you're in a corporate team, one of the things that people lean on Scrum for and try to learn more about how to do Agile well is because they believe that the more they know, the better performance they can get. And the truth is counterintuitive and opposite to that. The truth is, if you want a high-performing team, they need to be vulnerable and they need to know each other well enough and trust each other well enough to know that when you're struggling, someone has got your back. In fact, let me fast forward you 6 months from today into the future. If you've got a team like that, in 6 months when you're having a down day, without saying a word, right at the moment where you wish someone was helping you, where you wish you had an answer, the phone rings. And I had that phone call twice this week. I didn't ask for it. I didn't stick my neck out and look for attention or self-pity or none of that stuff. The phone call just comes. Because when you're part of a high-performing team, when you are vulnerable and when you care to build that level of trust, your teammates know you like the back of their hand. It starts with little things like asking one of your buddies, hey man, how's your day going? And they say, it's going good. And the hairs stand up in the back of your neck because you go, they're never good. They're always great, or they're always awesome, or they're always, something's different. When someone just reports in and says, yeah, I'm good, they're holding something back. You just know. It's in that moment where you do what my buddy Mike Karen says and you get burly, or you do what my buddy Mike Huber says, my swim buddy, and you get superhuman for them. When you have a team of burly, superhuman, badass mofos, man, that's what it's all about. So if you're still sitting there thinking, no, man, that's not me. That's not what a badass is. That's not what Dirty Harry would do. I'm Dalton from Roadhouse, man. I'm the lone wolf. I'm the number one cooler. But listen to this. Even Dalton calls out for help, doesn't he? Go back and watch it, man. No badass rolls alone. And that's one of the most important lessons that I want to teach you, my badass fellows. Out there working in the corporate world trying to figure out how to create high-performing teams. When you truly believe that screwing up doesn't mean making mistakes, but the only kind of true screwing up, I mean really dropping the ball, comes when you fail to lean on your teams. That's when stuff starts snapping into place for you. That's where you're able to create a team that other people can't help but notice. So I know you, in the back of your head, you're saying, yeah, but I got a team of 8 people, and let me tell you, 3 of them really don't want to be there. Well, that's natural, man. That's all good. What you need to do for now is focus on those who do. Find the one, find the two, find the three, find however many you can that get it. That means be a leader and be vulnerable first. Stick your neck out first. Ask for help first. It starts with those small steps. And one by one, you will find people who come to the fire to get warm. Do you see that? Now, the truth is this. There are some people that you may never reach. Or you might wait 8 months or longer before they have that moment where they realize the only place for them to go is to get vulnerable and to ask for help. But the truth is sometimes it doesn't happen. And that has to be okay. Do you want to spend 80% of your time looking after the 10% who don't want to be part of a high-performing team? People who you can't reach? Sometimes you have to let people say, this isn't for me. What I'm trying to say is, no system is perfect. This won't work on 100% of the people, but let me tell you, it works on 80 or 90% of them. If you are persistent, if you lead and you go first. And when a team member takes that leap and becomes vulnerable, in that moment, you get badass, you get burly, you get superhuman, whatever you want to call it. Watch what happens. And hey, in case you don't like my badass metaphor, you can look at, you don't have to look at Roadhouse. You can look at any movie. Go back to Pretty in Pink. What does the principal say to Andy when she's struggling at school? If you put out signals that you don't belong, people will make damn sure that you don't. That's another way of saying that when you're in a pack, if you intend to be the lone wolf, then eventually you become fuel for the rest of the pack. Because if you want to be on the fringes, they're going to keep you on the fringes. That's how the pack works. So here's my prescription for you today. Because I'm lucky, I'm already at the place where I maybe spend 10 minutes in the wrong mindset before I catch myself. And then I realize that what I need to do is lean on the most powerful asset that I have, which is my teams. But if you don't have that yet, get yourself on a team. How many of you are scrum masters or coaches and you're effectively out there alone? It's you against the world. You are constantly defending and proving yourself to your teams. You are constantly defending and proving yourself to your customer. Constantly defending and proving yourself to your bosses, to the executive team. If you are a lone wolf today, you have to get yourself a team. And if you can't find one, reach out to me and I'll help you get one. But until you've experienced this kind of elite team experience, this true brother and sisterhood, you can't roll the way you want to roll. You can't roll like a badass. This is the secret sauce, guys. It's the stuff they're not going to teach you in no Scrum Master school, because there's only one way to get it. This episode goes out with a huge thank you to my brothers Mike, Karen, Mike Huber, and my entire boat crew. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You changed my week this week. And hey, guys, while you're at it, do me a favor. Go visit my friends Mike Huber at superhuman365.com and Michael Karen at getburly.com. Check them out. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I love you because you're crazy. Thank you for being true believers. Remember, you can check me out at worldwideweb.badassagile.com or find me on Twitter at badass_agile and on the Instagram at badassagile. I look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, you know what to do. Stay badass.